And so they're selling news. But I'm a very non-political person, and I really had to think about my dad was Republican, my mom was Democrat, and I really had to think about what party I wanted to be because when I was 18, I didn't really know the difference between the two. And when I ran for office, I again had to really identify which party affiliation I was going to run with. And it came down to two things for me. I share a lot of values in both parties. I'm a real moderate, but there are two things that make me a Democrat, and that's just choice and gay rights.
Okay.
So,
I think one thing the news does too, they make it like, if you're a Republican, you agree everything Republican, or Democrat, everything Democrat. Like I know plenty of Democrats who are like pro-choice. Plenty of Republicans are
Republicans,
pro-choice.
and I have
I,
endorsed Republicans who are pro-choice, pro-gay rights.
I know plenty of Democrats who are pro-guns.
Yeah,
But it's like the news try to box us in this little box, so to speak, right? And no
yeah.
one's like that.
No, and what's sad is they're not talking to very many people, are they?
No.
Because those are I always think of the population as being the bell-shaped curve.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we should really, when we do policy, you need to listen to everybody, but you should, if you have to make a choice, make the choice for the middle of the bell-shaped curve.
Yeah. But unfortunately, most politicians like making the choice for the loudest person, or the, most fundraising, I guess. Um, so in How to put this? So I'm from Texas, and like most mayors, like they're like either Democrat or Republican. Is it the same here in like the Washington? It's like Washington, not really political, right?
Well, so and the city council is nonpartisan,
Okay.
so you don't identify as either.
Okay.
And since mayor is a council role, no.
Okay. All right. Um, what you have any personal fresh political goals? Like you want to go be U.S. state senator one day, or like
Like I'd be telling you. Um, no, I wanted to go into the state senate.
okay,
Very interested in that. But somebody I really admire and really support wanted that
okay,
seat, and I stepped aside and
okay,
said, and I got the choice, which was really kind, but I said I'd rather support you and keep you
okay.
in that spot.
And recently, Bellevue had something called a Bellevue International Festival.
International festival.
Can you talk about that?
Well, gosh, we have a festival every weekend. We do. And so the international festival, I think that's primarily uh like um like India and areas around India, but it's supposed to be
I think I remember
international.
seeing that. I remember I was in Bellevue for one day. I think I remember I was there for that. I was at the festival itself. I saw everyone like kind of dressed up and like, okay,
But yeah, I mean, we have international festivals all the time. We had the largest Ukrainian festival in the country um last summer. And if we're into fall yet, I don't know, but during the summer we had the largest Ukrainian. We have multiple Indian festivals. We have Hindu festivals. We do, you know, Hispanic. We have the tango in the park. There's just lots of things going on. And what I love about it is there's always food, you know, cultural food and music and dance and the colors and it's like you're traveling, but you haven't had to leave your city.
nice. And I think it was a link to where you talked at something called the Voices of Tomorrow Youth Panel on the Future of Tech.
When was that?
I think it was like about a month ago. I think it was like a high school tech people, females in tech, the high school.
Okay, so that was last week, and that I was did the welcome for, and they had five high school girls who are interested in tech, and
Okay,
they were on the panel.
okay. So you just
And
did the
I
okay,
just did the introduction, but that was really good to see. We need more of that. We had people in the space industry, we had people in different industries attend that and talk to them after, and There were a couple of people there who were really interested in going into the aerospace industry that might not have had a path if they hadn't gone to that. So it was a little bit of a job fair, but
Okay.
it was also great for the people in the room to hear these students' points of view and their perspectives.
So on your bio, you do a lot of volunteer work. Can you talk about maybe one or two of the volunteer things you do?
Well, my job is practically volunteer because I barely get paid.
Yeah, people forget about that part.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I used to do official volunteer work before I got into this job, and so I don't really have time to do anything more than I do in my role when I plant trees and I do litter pickup. And I went to assisted living last week and did a state of the city for them. I just love doing things like that. But I'm out in the community all the time offering my time. You know, my job's supposed to be a 20-hour a week and it's more like
20,
60.
yeah, I can imagine. Um,
But I will say, I did do a lot of volunteer work my whole life from the time I was a child. My mom was really big into me doing volunteer work. And she always said, if you're feeling bad about yourself, then go help someone and you'll feel better.
it's good advice.
Yeah.
And you're really big into nature too, right? Can you talk about your love for nature and how that plays in everything you're doing?
I think I'm a water person.
Yeah.
So I
Water
love
is,
to
yeah, that's
swim.
my thing too. Water, yeah. Like all your problems go away when you go to water. At
There you
least that's
go.
what I believe.
Yeah. So have you ever done cold water swimming?
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
So I do that
Okay.
too. How cold have you gotten to?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I couldn't tell you.
We take the temperature every time. So 38 was the coldest we've been.
Mm.
And that was pretty funny because my eardrums froze and I could only walk sideways. But starting in November, we every week we go with a group and we go swim in Lake Washington.
Okay.
So you have to join us at Maidenbower Bay.
Yeah. Do you do those cold plunging thing people are doing now where they like put all the ice in the bathtub and get in there?
I don't do a plunge,
Okay.
but I actually go in and swim for about 15 minutes.
And that's probably seem more like 15 hours with how cold it is.
No, you go in really gradually, and so it gets prickly for about 30 seconds, and then you're warm because you're numb. And then you go in a little further and you get prickly, and then you're numb. And it's just there's a little bit of discomfort, but it completely goes away. And you end up, when you come out, it's like you're generating all this heat and you feel almost euphoric